Hello and welcome to another edition of the Get Growing Weekly Work Session with GetOiling. I'm Coach Ashley, joined today by founder of GetOiling, Greg Kilwine. Hey, Greg.
Hey everyone, we're really glad you're here today.
We are. We're also really glad that Julie and Colin have joined us today. Hey, guys, happy to have you.
Hi, everyone.
How you doing, everybody?
So we are back this week to follow up on the last couple of weeks of topics where we have been discussing what it looks like to get more content out there into the world. It's really important for us as brand partners to not just show up and share, but to also create a pathway by which we can have more of those sharing conversations. If you want it to be easier for people to see you as the go-to person so that they are seeking you out for your recommendations where you can naturally share Young Living with them, or if you would simply like for your prospecting conversations to go over more easily, get more people to your classes, and just generally see more success in your efforts to grow Young Living, it's really important that you set yourself apart by creating and sharing content, not just showing up and posting on social media, but actually creating substantive content. So in the last couple of trainings that we've done, we've talked about what it looks like to use a swipe file to gather information and inspiration for future publication. Last week, we sat down and looked at what it looks like to use AI to start building these things out. And today we're going to look at setting up your blogs in GetOiling, actually putting your content into GetOiling ready to publish. So go ahead and head into the chat. If you haven't done so already, let us know where you're coming in from. Always thrilled to see where you are in the world. And of course, we've got incredible folks here every single week. This is an opportunity for you to learn how to work smarter as a brand partner. And of course, if you'd like to learn more about using GetOiling, you're in the right place as well. So we're going to go ahead and pop out a video. Promise we'll come back here in just a little bit. We're going to get into the slides that I've put together for you guys here on this call. So let's get into it. Again, welcome. Thrilled to have you here. Today, we're talking about how we can publish an entire month of content in less than an hour. So first, today, you're going to learn how to upload, format, and schedule your blog posts in GetOiling. So again, we're following up on last week's training where we learned how to plan for this content, right? You also learned how to, we'll also learn how to create email and social media copy to promote our posts, because it's not just about putting blog posts out there. It's about letting people know that they exist, obviously moving people toward that content where they can read your perspective and get excited about maybe having a conversation with you. Then we'll talk about what it looks like to make sure everything is ready for publication and syndication or sharing. And then finally, as always, we'll get into live help in Q&A. So if you have questions, go ahead and add those to the Q&A. You can do that now. You can do that during the call. And this is not limited to your questions about this topic. If you're here with a need that is completely separate from this, we call this a weekly work session. For a reason, we are here to work with you so that you can walk away from this call prepared to take on your next task. And if you are watching this as a replay, I hope you'll come join us at some point in the future. We're live every Thursday at noon US Eastern Time. And we are at getoiling.com/weekly work session if you would like to join us for one of these calls. If you'd like for someone to help you, specifically me, on an upcoming live call, you can go to getoiling.com/website review. This is a space that we reserve for everyone who needs help on these calls, and we can look at your website together. We can discuss strategy. If you're just getting started with GetOiling, this is a great option for you as well. And in the second half of these Thursday calls at noon, we get into that. And then finally, if you'd like for the team to do some of this work for you, that's also an option. GetOiling.com/concierge is where you can go to learn about our awesome team and how they can help you with your project. All right, so today, let's talk about what we're going to be using. So first, we're going to be using Write with AI. This is a feature in GetOiling that we released a little while back, and it is a really cool way for you to easily create content. And today, we're going to be using this to create our email and social media copy. So last week, we used Write with AI to create our blog posts, our blog post titles, and our excerpts. This week, we're going to be creating the emails we'll send out to share these blog posts and the social media posts that we will create in order to promote these blog posts as well. We'll also be using Trello. Now, this is our third week utilizing the same resource, free resource that you can use with a free Trello account that can help you to plan out your content. And that is a swipe file, right? So it's a swipe file where you can also plan out what you will eventually publish. We'll also, of course, use GetOiling to publish and schedule those blog posts and schedule those emails that will go out as well. And then finally, we will, to a limited degree, utilize Canva to add graphics to our blog posts and create social media posts as well, because this is an entire system. I want to reiterate, of course, if you are here for the first time, welcome, excited to have you. There are other trainings that are totally free that you'll want to reference to catch up on this. But the purpose of doing a training like this and to have all of these pieces in place is so that you can take a necessary component of your business, which is content for your brand, and to batch produce that content so that over time, it takes you a lot less time. Generally speaking, as a rule, you want to be releasing one long form piece of content per week at minimum. And that would mean on your blog, right? Now, can you use other platforms? Can you use video? Can you do podcasts? Yes, absolutely. But all of those things that you do, the long form content you create, needs to live on your blog, on your website. That gives people an opportunity to stick around longer, to dig in a little deeper, and to find pathways to connecting with you one-on-one and taking advantage of Young Living ultimately after having a brief conversation with you to help them get set up correctly, right? So what we're doing here is taking the things that need to be done and working ahead, right? A month at a time, or you can sit down and do the exact same steps here and take out an entire quarter's worth of work in just a couple of hours, right? So that's the point of what we're doing here today. Now, if you need to catch up, I want you to start with this training, how to create and use a swipe file. And then you can take a look at last week's training that is on creating your blog post content, right? So blog post planning would be that other one. So the first step that we're going to follow is adding our blog post content that we created last week and put into our Trello board into our GetOiling system. And let me just go ahead and remind you really quick where that is and what it looks like. And I'll go ahead and show you as well this checklist that we have that we'll be following here today. So everything that I'm going over in these slides and we'll be showing you in GetOiling, excuse me, you're going to see that there is a checklist item that corresponds with each of these. So don't worry about keeping up with exactly what I'm showing on the slides. You do have something to reference here. And this Trello swipe file and content planner is something that you will have access to as well. Highly recommend that you go back to that original training. But this is the swipe file, right? So last week we went into creating, here's our Mommy Magic, 7 natural ways to boost your family's wellness routine. And here I have the blog post, which is great. Love it. I will have also likely needed to create a title for this and a graphic. So you can actually see this is one that we created completely, right? So we've got a title, Sippy Cups and Serenity, Essential Self-Care Tips for Busy Moms. And then I would want to have, of course, in the description here, the body of this blog post, right? So there's our nice little photo that we created in Canva. And then I've got some more here. So ideally, what you will have done based on last week's training is you've got at least 4 of these drafts in progress, right? That we will then be moving over to scheduled and published once we get that done in GetOiling, okay? So let me just come right back over here. We're going to take a look at what the workflow looks like, right? Because what we're going to be doing is moving our content into our GetOiling system, right? And I'll be going over and showing you exactly how to do this in just a moment. So first things first, you're creating a new blog post in GetOiling. And this is a really simple thing. You just press a button. Let me show you exactly where to go to find this. So right over here from your dashboard, we're going to come to our website menu and you can see blog posts right here. Now I'm going to go ahead and click Write Post. And that's the first step. We are opening up and creating a new blog post in GetOiling, right? That is our first step. Next thing we're going to do is to paste our blog title from Trello and then paste the blog body content using paste plain text so that we can keep our brand fonts. And again, I'll show you exactly how to do that. Let's come back over here. And in our Trello board, I'm actually going to use, I believe it's, let me see if this one has a whole post. It does. Okay, perfect. So this is the title. I'm going to copy the title and come back over here to my post. I'm going to paste it. Easy enough. I'm using keyboard shortcuts for this, by the way. We do have a tech tips cheat sheet training that's on our YouTube channel if you want to learn more about keyboard shortcuts that save you time. Now, here is my blog post that I created previously. Right now, I'm going to come over here and I'm going to select all and copy. So that's on a Mac, Command A, Command C, or that's Control A, Control C if you are on a PC. So back over here to our blog post, instead of pasting right here, which would be Command or Control V, I'm going to go right over here to the More Text menu and click this clipboard. Here is where I can Command or Control V to paste. We can see that that is all here. And now I can paste into document. And here you can see it's all here, but it doesn't look great, right? So what we're doing here, we've got all of our content, but now we need to format our content. So what does that look like? Excuse me. The most important thing we need to do is to make it look kind of similar to how the AI would have created it for us, right? So we've got these are sort of in bold, right? And these are our head topics. Now, these are going to be considered headlines, and it's really important that we use the paragraph headline font and GetOiling to assign these their headline status. Number one, it's going to create an easier visual flow for people who read. But the other, even more or just as important reason is for something called SEO or search engine optimization. So when people are Googling for things or using a search engine to search for things, they're looking for keywords. And if you want your content to show up near the first page of the search results, it's really important that the keywords that you're using are in this headline format. So what I'm doing is I'm selecting this headline and I'm going to come over here to more paragraph, and it says normal. So it's automatically going to paste normal, which is what the majority of this needs to be. But I'm going to go over here and I'm going to select one of these headings. Now this is quite large. I'm going to use heading 2 or H2. And I like that a little better. I'm going to, actually, I'm going to let this be H1 because this is the entire post title, right? And I'm going to use the heading 2 for these others, right? So I'm just going to go in heading 2 and apply that to all of these numbered sort of subheadings for this post, right? Pretty straightforward process here. I'm just going to the paragraph settings. I'm deleting any additional enters that it creates for me, any line breaks that it creates. And I'm just going to do this for the entirety of the post. Really simple, really straightforward. This was a copy paste, and now we're just reformatting what we pasted. Ideally, you will have made any edits to the content of what you want, like the actual things you want to say here in your Trello, right? In your planning process, which is what we covered last week, right? So, and right here, we're not going to use this your name. That's a goofy thing that we don't need. I'm going to say Jane because this obviously is Jane. I might not even use this though, because I might use a blog post footer. And if that's something that you use and you apply that to all your blog posts, then the sign off is going to be something that you include anywhere. Now, one thing that I want you to take note in, I talked about this last week, is that your goal of creating these pieces of content is to draw people toward you, right? Using search traffic, et cetera. But it's also, once people are here and they really like what they see or what they read, we want them to take action on that. And so what we are doing, and let me just go ahead and make this one a heading 2, we are transitioning to offering a consult, right? So if you're eager to dive deeper into this wellness adventure and personalize a plan that fits seamlessly into your busy lifestyle, I'd love to chat more. Schedule a free wellness consultation with me today, and together we can tailor a path to wellness that feels amazing for your family. So I'm going to say, so head over here now. And then I need to turn this into a link. And I'm going to go insert link. And of course, this is for you if you have a wellness consult funnel. We have trained on that in other trainings. So if you have a landing page or a page on your website where people can apply for a call with you or get on your calendar, this is what we're going to connect to. I'm going to go find my wellness consult landing page, which I believe is what I have it called here. Here we go, wellness consult landing page. Perfect. Right there. And here's my paste. Head over here now, open in a new tab, insert. Here we go. So I've got the link here, and the call to action is to go book the wellness consult. Okay. So let's go back over to our checklist. So what we have done so far is we have pasted our blog body content using that plain text option, and we have formatted our post to include those heading 1 and heading 2 settings for our headings. Then we are, of course, making sure that this is readable using short paragraphs, which, just kind of go show you over here what that looks like. We don't have any huge chunks of text. This is all very easy for the eye to follow down the page, right? And nice breaks in between, right? It's very easy for somebody to kind of scan through and find what they're looking for if that's what they're doing. We want them to stick around. We want them to find what they're looking for so that they want to take advantage of more on your website. All right, so we've got these done. And then the final thing that we did there is to add that link for our call to action. So that's to schedule a wellness consult. You could also, if you don't have a wellness consult funnel set up, let me show you what you can do alternately. Come right over here, and instead of linking to that wellness consult landing page, what I would do here, let me go to edit the link, is I would go #contact. And this just pops up a contact form on the page. And it's going to have your email address associated with your website, your phone number associated with your website, whatever you have right here in this My Contact Info field on your in your website settings. That's going to show up, and there'll be a form for them to put in their contact information and send you a message. So again, if you don't have a wellness consult funnel set up, just use #contact right here and allow that person to get in touch with you that way. All right, so let's go back and work through the rest of this process. It's going to be pretty straightforward. Now, what we need to do is upload the featured image that you would have created for that post using the Canva graphic that you have stored in Trello. And I have an example of this that's done that we will bring over here in just a moment. And then we're going to move into the excerpt part as well. So all of this, again, from your planning that you did based on last week's training, you'll have all of this all ready to go in your, where is that? Here we go. Over here in your Trello board, right? So you will have placed your excerpt in here as well. I believe I would have put, let me see, where did I put that one? Okay, yeah, so what you will do, let me move my Zoom thing out of the way here, sorry. The next thing that we're doing here, like I just mentioned, is we're going to grab our Canva graphic. So pretending like this is the one that we need to use, I'm going to go ahead and make sure that this is downloaded to my device. And Melissa, yes, that the template for this Trello board is actually right here. So if I open this in a new tab here, this is the YouTube, the video that has the training about the Trello template, and it's right here. So you'll get the checklist here that goes straight to the Trello board. So this exact board that I have here, I taught you how to use it last week and the week before. So definitely make sure that you catch up on those. So anyway, what you want to make sure that you do, if you don't have this already saved to your device, is to go ahead and download the image that you created for your blog post, right? So what I'm going to do is come back over here, and you can see the featured image field is right here, and I'm going to show that on the post just to keep things simple. There it is right here in my downloads. So I'm going to select that. And we can also go ahead and put our blog categories here. So these are going to be, again, the ones that, going back to your Trello board, actually, if you go to your labels, you will have probably filled these out. I called them content silos. So in this case, I'm talking about productivity, I'm talking about stress management, I'm talking about self-care, right? Those are my sort of top level topics. And so whatever that pertains to, I would put that over here, right? So here I would put, um, self-care, and I would say maybe new moms. Maybe that's what this is related to as well. Now, another thing that we can go ahead and do just while we're here is very likely when you set this one up, you probably gave it a date, right? Because that was one of the things that I talked to you guys about last week. So let's just pretend that I actually did that. So I'm going to go to dates here, and the publication date, because I'm working ahead here. This is going to release on Monday, March 3rd. Let me go ahead and save that here real quick. I'm going to come back over here, and this will be what I reference. This is going to be released on Monday, March 3rd. I'm going to set that up for 9 a.m. in my time zone, right? So we've done that. And then we need to go down here to comments, excerpt, and search engine options. And this is where we want to show the excerpt. You absolutely want to show the excerpt. Now, if you have not done this yet, then what I want you to do is utilize the training from last week. And I'll actually show you really quickly where you can go to find that. If you go to our Success Academy to live training and replays, you'll actually see these are the ones that I'm referencing here. So this is the one where you'll learn about the swipe file and how to gather your ideas. And then this is the one that's going to show you how to plan out your content. Because essentially what we're doing now is just plugging it all into your GetOiling account. And so the checklist here that we went through, I actually have example prompts for you, right? So we also need to create an excerpt here. So I'm going to copy this real quick because I haven't done this yet. So just in case you're just catching up on this, I'm going to show you, I'm going to use Write with AI right here. I'm going to paste this, and I need to replace this part here with the title and the copy. So let me just pop right back over here to my swipe file so I can do that. And I believe the one that I was doing is this one. So I'm going to copy my title. I'm going to paste that title here. And then I'm going to, oh, oops, I need to paste it here where it says title. And then here, I'm going to paste the copy from the post. And it's not going to copy and paste all of it in. There is a sort of upper limit to what you can, the volume of text you can paste into that feature, but it's fine. It's going to understand the gist of it. So I'm going to copy this and come back over here. And again, right here, I'm going to paste this. And I'm going to ask it to complete that prompt here, or that excerpt. Beautiful. I don't need that contact first name tag. Let me go ahead and just add that to editor. And let me just change this a little bit. So transform your family's wellness routine with these 7 natural, easy to implement tips that even the business mom can master. It's like mommy magic for your home. Beautiful. I'm going to remove the quotations. Love it. That's great. Okay. So that's what we've done. We have pasted our title. We have pasted plain text, the body of our post. We've gone in and applied heading 1. And then for the subheadings, heading 2, using this paragraph settings feature here, right? We have provided a link with our call to action that can be #contact, or it can go to the landing page that you're using to get people into a wellness consult. We have uploaded our featured image, applied some categories, applied the date and time we want this to publish. And then we have pasted our excerpt right in here. And I'm going to go ahead while we're at it, because this is nice and brief. I'm going to copy this and paste that into the meta description as well. Again, this is just what's going to show up in the search results underneath the link to go to your site and review that information. Okay, so that's what we've done. We've put our excerpt in there. We have applied our tags, and we scheduled for future publication, right? And so what you're going to do, what we've just done, let me pop right back over here, is we're just going to go schedule post. Because remember, this isn't going to post until March 3rd at 9 a.m. We've done everything that we're supposed to do here. Good to go. Schedule post. And then you're going to repeat the same thing 4 times, right? Come right back over here to the next one. Actually, take the one that you just did, move it over to scheduled and published, right? This one, forgive me, I'm doing this out of order here. So this March 3rd, save, that one's done. Then I'm going to move to the next one whose date is the 10th. I'm going to then go and create a new post and GetOiling following those same steps, right? So write post, really simple, right? This is, I'm going to do this one. How about this one? Stress reducing techniques for busy professionals. Copy this, go to your post, paste the title, and then come right back over here. This actually, forgive me, that's actually not one that's ready. That's a draft in progress. So let's do this one. All right. And then again, coming back over here, you're going to take your blog post that you would have here, you paste, and you continue doing the same steps, right? It's all very straightforward. It takes very little time to actually put this stuff into GetOiling so that it's ready to go. And of course, again, if you have followed the steps from last week, then you have everything ready. Now, the next thing that we need to do is to create the copy that we'll use to share. So using Write with AI and GetOiling, we're going to create email copy to share our posts. And then we will schedule an email broadcast to go out to our subscribers the same date that our post is scheduled. And again, we're going to repeat this for each post that's planned for the following month. So let's come right back over here. Remember, this is what we're following. And I actually do have a prompt that you can use, right? Very similar to what we did before. I'm saying a wellness influencer. You can obviously change this to your liking, who helps first-time moms and moms of young kids take control of their family's wellness with easy-to-implement steps and safe, natural products. Write a 3 to 5 sentence email preview promoting my blog post, insert the title. Here are the contents of the blog post, paste the body, and then we're telling it, in this case, to use a tone that piques curiosity and invites readers to click the link and read more. So that is exactly what we are going to do. So I'm going to copy this prompt. And now we're actually going to go over into our emails. So I'm going to go to my dashboard. And I'm going to select send email, text, or campaign. I'm going to go just one message. And then I'm going to filter by my newsletter tag or whatever your general mailing list tag is, the people who should be receiving these emails from you. I'm going to click write email. And here is where I'm going to use Write with AI. So here we go, paste. That's our prompt. Got that straight over here from this checklist. And I'm going to come back over here to my post. Here's the one that we have ready to go. So here is my copy for the title. So I'll come back over here. Here is the title where it says paste the title, paste. There we go. And then here is the body, copy, and paste right here where it says paste the body. There we go. I'm going to click write. And again, it's only going to give me a handful of words here. It's a quick email. I'm going to add that to the editor. Oh, it pasted beneath. So let me just copy this and move it right up top here above my signature. I'll hit enter a couple times, give it a space to go. Perfect. All right. So there's our contact first name tag. Excellent. That can stay because we're emailing. And now I'm just going to reformat this, right? So I am going to add a little enter, little line break in between these. And then here's our call to action. Click here to read more. So I do need to go and grab the link to that blog post. So what I'll do is I'll pop right back over here, have a new tab open for GetOiling, go to blog posts. And I'm going to click copy link right here. And remember, this is posting on the 3rd at 9 a.m. So I'm going to paste that link here, click here to read more. I'm going to put the link right here. And I'm going to schedule this for 9 a.m. on March the 3rd. Now, I do need a subject line for this. So let's go ahead and ask Write with AI to give us one. So here we go. I'm going to paste in the body of the email, and I'm going to ask to create a compelling subject line for this email. And we'll have it right. Mommy magic, elevate your family's wellness, even with a toddler tornado. Yeah, sure. I'm into it. Okay, so I'm going to copy that to clipboard and close out of here because I need to put it right here. And let me just remove these quotes. There we go. All right. So that's what that looks like. It's pretty simple, pretty straightforward. We will, again, have been gathering ideas over a longer period of time for what we want to create, putting that into our swipe file. We'll move it over to when we're ready to start creating them. Once we have them ready, we add a date to them, of course. And then once they are in your system and ready to go, you move them right over here to scheduled and published. And that, of course, is ready to go in your system. And then you have right here an email that is scheduled to go out. And you just repeat that. Again, we put up together 4 blog posts. You're going to do 4 emails, right? And I did provide that prompt here. Just read that out for you. 3 to 5 sentence email. Keep it pretty brief. Keep the call to action pretty straightforward. We want to get them to go read it, right? We don't want to deliver the entire contents of the blog to them in their email. So make sure that you're using Right with AI to generate your social posts as well. So we're going to generate social post copy to share your posts, and then we can add that to our Trello board, right? So we will then create and attach any graphics from Canva if we want for each post, and then we'll schedule those to go out the same week your blog post is scheduled. So, and then again, we would repeat that step for each one of those blog posts for the next month. So what would that look like? Let's go into our Right with AI right here. I'm just going to open this up. And I'm going to ask it to, let me delete what's here, create 3 social posts, we'll say social posts that promote this blog post, right? And so I'm going to put the title in. There's that title. There we go. And then body. I will again go and let me just grab that off of Trello here just to make my life a little easier. Again, copy and paste. And let's see what it comes up with. And then we're kind of working in the different direction here because we will be using these to post onto social, right? All right, here we go. Dive into our latest blog post. Great. I like these. Let's use them. So let's go ahead and copy the body of this one. And let's go back over to our Trello board. Now we're planning social content. So let's come down here and create from template using our social media posts. And this is going to be, what was the name of that? Mommy Magic blog post promotion. And I'm going to do this multiple times. A matter of fact, because I know I'm going to do 3 of them, let me go ahead and duplicate. So copy, create, and I'll do that one more time. So here, I'm just going to post what I got, excuse me, from Right with AI and GetOiling. There's 1. There is 2. And you don't have to do all of these all at once. This is like why we have a process here and why I'm not showing you how to do all of these things all in one training, right? This is something that you can integrate over a long period of time to make your work more sustainable. So if it feels a little overwhelming, don't worry. You have 3 separate trainings, each with very specific, fairly simple steps to follow, right? So long as you focus on doing one type of thing at a time, you will succeed at this and you will get your work done more effectively. So I've just created some social media post ideas using the ones that we just generated from Right with AI and GetOiling about this blog post. But again, we're planning this out in the future. Right now, it's January 30th. We got a whole month before any of this needs to go out on social media. So you got time to figure this out, right? If we're always working on the hamster wheel of, oh, I needed that done yesterday, we're always going to be overwhelmed. But what we get to do is actually decide what's going to happen moving into the future and take slow, measured, meaningful steps toward getting it done. So the last thing I'm going to do over here is go ahead and apply dates to these because I know that these are going to need to go out the week of that blog post being published. So maybe this one I want to have go out the day of. Maybe the next one I'm going to have go out a couple days later. And again, I'll put all of these on Instagram or LinkedIn or Facebook or whatever platform you like to show up on. So every other day for that week, my content is going to be about this blog post. So now that I know I'm going to be using these, I'm going to go ahead and move these over to my content ideas because I know that I'm going to be using these. And I know that my next steps are to create them. Well, what's my blog post about? Here we're talking about Mom's Secret Weapon, the whole family guide, from hydration hacks to playful bonding, mindful moments. We've got simple tips to make life easier and happier for everyone. Some mommy magic. Okay, well, let's go into Canva and let's create a couple of things that are mommy magic centric, right? So I'll just go and open up Canva. And I'm going to create a design and I'm going to make 3 of these all in the same document. So let me just look up maybe a Facebook post. So Facebook post. Here we go, landscape version. Great. All right. I wonder if there's anything about mommy magic. No, but there's some pretty stuff. That's pretty. I like that. Right? There's a number of different things we can do here. I'm going to go to elements and type in mom and then look at photos and just come up with something that you like, right? Whatever works for you. So I'm going to attach this to the background. I think I want to make this, maybe put this over here. Great. Maybe I want to add something to it. I want to add like a color overlay here. So I'm under elements. I'm going to remove mom here. There we go. Under over shapes. I can take one of my brand colors and just apply it to the entire thing. And then change the opacity or the transparency of it. There we go. Then you can add some text over the top. We're talking about our blog post. Here's Mommy Magic. Again, you want to make sure that this is in keeping with the brand that you're building, everything that you're including here. The goal is that it is legible, that people understand it, right? So this, you'd be creating the image that you want to make for your post. And once you have this done, let me go ahead and add another one. And you could still, again, take this copy that you have over here that you've put on Trello. You could put some of that into here, right? Again, you're just making 3 different posts. Add a new one, go back over here to design, look at templates, see what you like. Grab one that speaks to you, change it over to your branding. This can be maybe a quote from you, from the website, from the blog post, right? So get all of these set up the way that you want them. I'm going to go to share, go to download. And these are all going to be PNG or JPEG. Doesn't matter, an image, save them as images. I'm going to download these. And then once they are all downloaded, I can go and add those to these posts that I'm building over here in content ideas. And I'll move them over to my drafts in progress. And then I can go to wherever it is that I am posting, right? So in this case, it might be Facebook. And I don't understand this actually downloaded as a video, and that's not what I wanted. There we go, PNG, all 3 pages. There we go. Did not want a video. So here we go. Now I've got it, and you can come right back over here. And there's one. and I'm dragging and dropping. Oops, I put number 2 on there. 2 goes here. And again, I'll drag number 3 to go here. And now these are my social media drafts in progress. And ideally, you will have moved all of your blog posts over here. And so now we've got our social posts that we're putting together, right? And these, again, we will be posting that week. We'll be scheduling these to post, or if you're not somebody who schedules your social media posts, you'll have these ready for you, right? For when it's time to go and put those onto social, right? And that's really what it looks like. This is actually the easiest and simplest part of this entire process. The difficult part of getting any of this done is the ideas, right? It's the gathering of ideas and then the generation of the copy. And that's the stuff that we covered last week and the week before, right? And I do, again, if there's a prompt there, this is also going to be on your checklist where we write a short, engaging social media caption to promote your blog post. And you can give it the contents and you can give it the title, right? And then, of course, the final thing you want to do is make sure that you've got all 4 of your planned blog posts in GetOiling that have a title, they have their content that's been formatted, a featured image, a link to connect with you, right? An excerpt and our category tags. And then you want to make sure that the sharing copy, so this is what you're going to be sending out via email, and then, of course, what you're sharing on social media for your email broadcasts and those social posts. And then you want to just make sure that the publication dates align, right? So if a blog post is going to be posted on March 3rd, make sure that its corresponding email is scheduled to broadcast on March 3rd. Make sure that your social media posts, if you're scheduling them, are going to be scheduled to go out the week of March 3rd. And again, you're going to repeat that for the week of March 10th, the 17th, and so on, right? Make sense? Now, again, follow this checklist. Make sure that you follow, again, the trainings that preceded this one. This is the final step in this process. You have your constant process of ideation and gathering ideas with your swipe file. That's the first training that we went over, the organization of those ideas. And then there is the actual planning process and the production of the copy for your blog posts themselves, as well as the images that go into those posts. And then finally, you have what it looks like to publish and share, which, again, once you get to GetOiling, you've got all of the content made. It's easy. If you go to GetOiling and you say, I want to write a blog post, and you have no idea what you're going to write about, that's where it gets difficult, right? So follow the planning steps and you will have a very easy time getting all of this stuff set up and ready to go. All right, I'm looking forward to chatting with you about this, hearing your ideas, seeing what you do with this. I also want to make sure, because you scheduled, let me see, Natalia, if you are here for your live review, happy to help you here as well. Maybe pop your hand up or let me know that you're here, and happy to bring you out to chat. Let me go ahead and get into the Q&A though. In the meantime, Donna says, when you put in #contact, what does the form look like to them? So let's go take a look actually at Jane's GetOiling site, and I'll show you. I think I have a #contact on her website somewhere. Contact, yeah, here we go. It looks like this. It'll have the photo that you have attached to your system under My Story and Photo. It'll have the phone number and the email address that you have connected to your contact information, and it'll have your social media that you have connected as well. So the inputs for this are going to be in a couple of places. Number 1, contact info. This is the email address that will show. This is the phone number that will show. Photo and story. This is the photo that will show. And then under Customize My Site, social media sites, it will display whatever you have here as well, right? So that is what the contact, the #contact will pop up. When asking AI to write the excerpt, do I need to paste the entire body of the blog? When I did, it cut off at one point. Yeah, so it will. If you have a 1,000-word blog post, we do have, there's like an upper end maximum of a character count for the AI that we have built into GetOiling. But it's okay because it's able to, I think, divine what you're talking about there in a way that is that's fine. So it's okay if it doesn't paste the entirety of it because we really just want it to give a tiny bit of sizzle for what's there. And I think it'll be able to kind of gather that from the title and the body. Yeah, and it's okay. So long as when you're asking for 1,000 word blog post, it's giving you 1,000 word blog post, which it will, then it's not so much an issue. When you're inputting, it's not going to take the entirety of the blog post itself. And generally speaking, it's going to take the majority of it, and it should be totally fine. If we add them to our newsletter, they're going to then know about my using Young Living products. Is that an issue? So how you choose to introduce Young Living to your audience is kind of a matter of personal preference and how you choose to structure how you share in your business. Generally speaking, for a lot of us, it makes more sense to have more product or company neutral conversations so that we can get more people interested in speaking with us, right? And then the talking about Young Living comes on a personal level after we've had a qualifying conversation with someone, right? But if you are wanting to make sure you're strictly adhering to compliance rules with whatever you post on your website and your blog post, if you are mentioning Young Living by name or linking to Young Living products in a public way on your website, make sure that you are really mindful about the compliance rules. So yeah, it's generally not an issue though. I mean, the people that are on your mailing list trust you enough to want to receive what you're sending. And it is important to know that you can segment, right? So newsletter can mean Young Living newsletter, meaning these are the people that I send gift with purchase info and sales and, product use tips. That might be a different tag than newsletter, right? That like blog newsletter might be the tag that you use. So there's a case for looking at segmenting your list into the people that you talk with about Young Living in a more direct way, or the people that you're trying to move toward a one-on-one conversation with you so that they can be pulled into the fold into those more Young Living focused conversations. Do you recommend to add my logo to all social posts? Blog posts, yes. Social posts, maybe. I would be more inclined to just make sure that you're using consistent brand fonts and colors and color schemes and themes and things like that. If it is something that's meant to be like a shareable quote, you better put your logo or something like that on there so people who like it can be curious about where it came from and come and find you. But I don't think you have to do it on all of them. That might just be a little overkill, a little over branding. Do you recommend to use Canvas Scheduler or Meta Business, or should this be done manually on the very exact day? So I can blissfully inform you that I am really not well educated in the ways of Facebook and using Meta and all of that. It's not something that I really personally engage with. My understanding is, though, is that generally speaking, if you are posting as an individual, which in these cases, as network marketers, as brand partners for Young Living brand partners, we should be operating not from business pages, but from personal pages. And where we are operating from personal pages, it is, I think, of greater advantage to you for edge rank purposes to live post as opposed to scheduling. I do believe that the algorithms would be geared toward the people who are showing up to engage more so than people who are scheduling their content in advance. You will likely have an edge that way. But if it's a matter of doing it or not doing it, use the scheduler. Get the content out there. If you can be live, I do think that there is probably at least a slight advantage for that. Does the blog have a built-in sign-up page for emails? It doesn't, but they are incredibly simple to create. What I would do here is go right over here to landing pages. And right here, you can create one using a template. Any of these templates are fine. We've got a lot of them here. But you just basically create one. Maybe you put a little logo over here and you say sign up for the blog. right? And then you tell them I post weekly. Be the first, we'll say, be the first to see the posts I create each week. Obviously, this isn't super compelling the way I'm putting this, but you see where I'm going. We get their name, we get their email. You can choose whether or not to ask for their phone. I'm going to not show phone because this is just about the blog. Number one most important thing, though, is that you put whatever the tag is in here that you're going to use to sort for people. So this might be blog, newsletter. And then these will now be the people that you search for, right? So once you have this all set up, you don't even need to send them to, like, you can send them to your website homepage, show a message after registration, and we'll say, thanks for registering. Look for an email from me soon, right? And then you could just create this, share this from your blog or from your emails, really anywhere that you show up. And then you can get folks onto your list for that. Excuse me. So in this case, I wouldn't be creating a monthly blog newsletter. What I'm suggesting with this workflow is that you are you're sitting down like we talked about last week, and you are using AI to help you generate 4 blog posts. And those 4 blog posts are going to go out on a weekly basis. And that means you're going to be sending an email weekly, right? So you post, you have 4 blog posts scheduled for each Monday in the month of March. And then you're going to, again, use AI with the prompts that I've supplied today to have an email go out each Monday in the month of March to the people who are signed up for your blog that says, hey, it's about this. You're going to love it for these reasons. Go check it out now. And then we link to that blog post, right? So we're creating 4 blog posts, and there is an email for each blog post. And then I would say, as a general rule, 3 social posts per blog post, or at least just make sure that you're mentioning it at least once, right? So that's 1 blog post or 1 social media post per week. And that's, of course, per blog post. It is going to be more effective on social media to post more frequently, just as a general rule. So, well, I don't know that Natalia made it on. If you are here, I'm happy to help you. Definitely reach out to us if you need some more help. Our team would love to help. Let's see, AI is very helpful in optimizing SEO for your blog. Absolutely, it is. In fact, this is not something that I would like. I wouldn't really harp on like, hey, brand partners, go create a bunch of blog posts as a thing that I should really insist that you do. I do know that it is one of the most important things that you can be doing in building the breadcrumb trail for people to find you and begin having conversations with you. But I also understand that before AI became available to the average person like us, this was kind of a non-starter because it's a lot of work. It is a lot of work if you're going to do it all on your own. And so if you're using AI, you are able to create something that is a really great starting point, right? For you to refine just a little bit, right? Because it's going to be saying the things that you know are true anyway. You go in and make it your own flavor, and then you're good to go, right? So the most important thing that you should know about this is that this entire process of creating content is something that you should plan for, right? You should plan. We're in January right now. You should be looking at March, right? Not thinking about February because it's January 30th, right? Could you go and get yourself set up to drop a blog post every week in February? Yes, fine. But don't let FOMO get you, all right? It'd be great if you had that set up already, but let's be real. We're learning something new. Give yourself the space. Block out the time on your calendar. Get 4 blog posts set up in your Trello board. Don't worry about going into GetOiling until you have the title, the post, the excerpt, the image, because then all you have to do is go into GetOiling and paste and format and paste and format and paste and format. And these functions in GetOiling are very easy and very simple. It's when we start taking the creative side of our brain and the needing to do technical stuff side of our brain, and we're firing them both off at the same time, thinking that they aren't going to just create an absolute firewall in front of us and overwhelm us, right? And it will, I promise you. If you wait to do the creative stuff until you're sitting in front of GetOiling, needing to also learn the tech stuff, you will absolutely be overwhelmed. But if you do just a little bit of planning ahead of time and you are intentional about this, it can flow, it can be easy, and it can accomplish everything that you want it to without it ever stressing you out. All right, let me see. AJ says, I tend to throw all of my notes and thoughts at my topic at AI and have it organize them into a rough draft. Yes, absolutely. It's so good at that. It's so good at that. It is one of the smartest assistants that you can have, and for the price, it's absurd. It's incredible. I really think that you guys can go a long way with this, and especially when you think about setting yourself apart, right? You're wanting to lead conversations with people that you probably already have access to, but they don't see you the way they need to see you yet. And the way that they're going to start seeing you that way is by how you present yourself. And it's not about what you say, it's about what you do. It's the stuff, it's how you show up, right? And so having a website, right, in the first place is going to set you apart. But being out here and talking about conversations that matter to the people that you want to communicate with, that's going to make them go, oh, maybe this person can help me. And having the content that you're talking about not just be about the stuff that you're selling, right? This is why, like, as I mentioned before, I don't usually recommend that we talk in any detail about Young Living by name or Young Living products by name on our blog posts, because people have preconceived notions. They think they know, right? I don't even love the idea necessarily unless it is a main thing for you, like you're an aromatherapist, trained, certified, whatever. I don't even think that essential oils need to be a primary thing that you're talking about on your blog posts. Now, what they do for you, we're talking about sleep, we're talking about energy, we're talking about even like little pocket stuff that we're into, right? Organization, homemaking, family routines, supporting wellness in a general sense. There are so many things that we can be talking about, and we're opening up the doors to future conversations about oils, about Young Living, et cetera. But we're allowing people to start to see you a little differently, right? And then as this snowball builds and begins to have its own momentum growing and rolling on its own, people will start to find you. You will be sought out for these conversations that you're starting. So it's better as soon as you're able to for you to start doing this, because it will make a difference. It is a long game, but now that you have AI to help you take the most difficult and time-consuming steps out of your hands, there's no reason all of us shouldn't be doing this, right? So let me know if there are any questions. I guess, Natalia, if you watch this, if you still need some help from our team, reach out to us, let us know. We are happy to help you. By the way, you guys, second half of this call is absolutely available if you ever need it. That is getoiling.com/website review. You can reserve time. And if you want some time reserved outside of this call, if you go over here to your Success Academy under Get Help from a Real Person, you'll learn all of the different ways that you can contact and connect with us, including a group help call that the one and only Pam helps with. Pam is on a more westerly time zone than this call is, or than I am personally. And so she actually offers these at different times of day, and they are not broadcast calls. They are more intimate, small calls where you can get a lot of hands-on support as well. All right. I hope that this was really helpful to you guys to be able to kind of get some context around what it looks like to start creating content. Remember, this is the third in a 3-part series. And if you have not watched the first 2, I think that you will benefit from doing that greatly. This is sort of the final piece of the process here, and the one that directly ties in getting things into your GetOiling account, which again, I hope you see today that this really is the easiest part of all of it if you've done the steps in the first go round. All right, look forward to seeing you guys back again next week. We have some exciting more content training coming up. If you want to workshop some of your ideas together, we'll keep this thing going. If there's other things you'd like to learn about, let our team know. Look forward to seeing you next week, everybody. Have a great week.